Hey, remember that flipping massive controller for the original Xbox? Well, it was called the Duke, and it's coming back.
The unnecessarily large Xbox Duke controller is being revived by the guy who designed the console, Seamus Blackley, and will be available at the end of March for $69.99. It's being built by peripheral manufacturer Hyperkin and will connect to an Xbox One and PC. The new Duke will of course be a bit different to the original, with the original memory card slots gone, new USB connectivity and 2 extra bumper buttons to make it compatible with modern games. But this behemoth is placed alongside the likes of the N64 and GameCube controllers as one of the worst ever. So why bring it back? Well, Blackley said, quote, "I discovered to my horror and fascination that the Duke was an object of nostalgia and comfort and happiness and childhood memories. And all these people with big hands saying it was the only controller that was comfortable."
Someone asked Blackley on Twitter about the possibility of re-releasing the Duke. That tweet got almost 2,000 likes and retweets. He took the idea to Microsoft, who, thanks in large part to the enthusiasm of Phil Spencer, gave the project the green light. Blackley said, quote, "It's f***ing remarkable. I don't know a lot of brands that would re-release an unpopular product from the past, and Phil, I think, correctly understands that it sends a message about how serious Xbox is about its heritage and about the fans."
I can think of so many bad ideas that got 2,000 retweets on Twitter, but you don't see them come into fruition. People know the bad ideas. You know, some people might like it.
I think this is excellent. I think something about this makes me really happy. I don't know, because it's a big, stupid controller. It came out with the original Xbox, and that Xbox was like this big American machine, like by an American company, American games console, and then to a company that obviously had the biggest the biggest controller like you've ever seen. Obviously, of course it did. It was the big American games console, so it had to have a big ass controller. And I really like the fact that it's coming back, and they've made some additions to make it compatible and whatever. And the big Xbox logo that was in the middle of it, that's gone, and it's actually got like a screen there now that kind of shows the old Xbox logo, I think, when you boot it up. It's such a cool idea. I think a lot of people will be interested in getting this, especially larger fellas who actually genuinely did find it a bit more comfortable, because the whole thing was huge. It was much better to hold for some people.
Larger fellas and women. Let's not leave the girls out. I mean,
well, of course,
big girls out there too. Also this week, Ubisoft released the first major bit of Assassin's Creed Origins DLC to Xbox One users by accident. The Hidden Ones expansion was not due for release until next Tuesday, January the 23rd, but some players on Microsoft's console were able to play the new content after the game was patched. The Hidden Ones follows events 4 years after the main game's story in the new game region of Sinai. It raises players' level cap to 45 and adds new stuff like player outfits, mounts and weapons. A post on the game's forums by a Ubisoft community manager confirmed the mix-up had taken place. Quote, "The Hidden Ones expansion was unintentionally made available on Xbox One early today for some players before the January 23rd release date. This happened due to a misconfiguration of our in-game store and has been corrected. The $10 DLC has since been removed from the game store, but Ubisoft will not take access away from players who managed to access it in case of complications with save files." How ironically named the Hidden Ones DLC, but it wasn't hidden at all. It was there for people to find.
This week also saw the reveal of Nintendo's new Labo lineup, which is it's kind of a DIY cardboard set that you assemble, and it does things. Wonderful things, actually. Nintendo promised an announcement was coming on Wednesday that was to be, quote, "a new interactive experience specially crafted for kids and those who are kids at heart." But it's a safe bet that no one predicted what that would actually mean. Nintendo Labo arrives as a series of flat pieces of cardboard that can be popped out, folded, bent, and slotted neatly together to assemble all kinds of things. A bike, a fishing rod, a little robot thing, even a piano, and some kind of robotic suit that you actually wear. Nintendo calls these Toy-Cons. The idea is that once you've assembled the cardboard, you add in your Nintendo Switch's Joy-Con controllers and tablet screen in various ingenious ways to bring those little creations to life. Press a key on the piano, it plays a note. Wind the reel on your fishing rod, watch your catch reeling in on the Switch. The only real way to get a sense of what this is by watching the full trailer without us prattling on in the background. The link will be in the description. Nintendo Labo launches with 2 different kits, the Variety Kit and Robot Kit, on April 27th in the UK. It's so mad that it shouldn't work, but it does. It absolutely does. I can't believe they blindsided everyone again. No one would have predicted self-assembly cardboard kits that you place the Switch controllers in and the screen to make it do different things. It's absolutely ingenious. The creativity of that I can't get over it. It straddles the line between madness and genius. so well. I'm so happy that this is a thing. It's quite pricey at like $70, I think, for the cheaper variety kit, which gets you a lot of smaller bits of cardboard to do. So that includes like the radio controlled car and stuff like that. A lot of the things that were in the trailer that they revealed. And then the other kit is basically just the robot suit of armor thing, and that's $70 and $80. So, but what?
He sounds very excited about this, Mike.
I really
Mike's
am.
inner child's coming out here.
Because I'm totally blindsided by it. It's stupid. If someone told you about it, if someone pitched this to you, you'd think it's just absolute nonsense. But the trailer sells it so well. I don't know. What great.
I mean, I'm interested from the point of engineering, right? Because the buttons on the Joy-Con have to be pressed in some way to interact with the game. But the way that they've done it with kind of elastics and ropes and string and then the cardboard itself.
And the sensors on the controllers as well.
Yeah, the way that everything, like the piano, for instance, you press the piano key down and it's got to trigger one of the buttons on the Joy-Con somewhere. How that all works is quite fascinating for me, and kids are going to love this kind of thing.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, it's got its appeals.
With the piano, I think it uses the like IR sensor and stuff, and all this stuff is it shows that the Joy-Cons are a bit more sophisticated than people actually thought. And a big part of it as well is just like the engineering thing and just demonstrating how this actually works and the basics of what's going on here. It shows all this in quite some detail actually, and that is going to be a big part of their selling point as well, I think.
Elsewhere in the news this week, Sega's on-rails zombie shooter House of the Dead is coming back to life. After more than a decade, the series will return as an arcade cabinet game called House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn later this year. Screenshots of the game show off some recognizable bosses, as well as, lots of zombies. The last House of the Dead we saw in arcades was the fourth installment in the series back in 2005. There was also that 2009 spin-off Nintendo Wii game called Overkill, which later arrived on the PS3 in 2011.
In other news this week, a new development studio has opened up in the UK, comprised of several ex-Sony employees. Wushu Studios is made up mainly of employees from Secret Sorcery. They were an indie studio made up of people from Evolution Studios, the people behind PlayStation exclusive racing games Drive Club and Motorstorm. Wushu's got some new talent in there as well, with the likes of Mass Effect 3 concept artist Alex Fagini and famed Mass Effect fan and industry insider Nate Nadja, who you may know as NeoGAF and now Reset era tipster Shinobi. They'll be working on a sci-fi game based around new IP and built using Unreal Engine 4. Work started on a prototype back in September. Interestingly, the former studio Secret Sorcery was working on VR games, but Wushu founder Alan McDermott told Eurogamer the new studio will move back to console games development, which is less commercially challenging. So they tried making some VR games, or they were working on one particular VR game for PSVR, I think, as well, and they said that it was too hard. Commercially, I guess there's not enough money in it or something, and they're going back to traditional console games design. They've brought some Mass Effect 3 talent on board and a huge Mass Effect 3 fan, I guess. And they're trying to make a new IP sci-fi game on Unreal Engine 4. I'm looking forward to this.
And last up in the news is this badass. Kotaku reported this tweet from Twitter user Hero this week, which showed off a video of a blindfolded man playing the out of Taiko no Tatsujin. The game, which literally translates to Taiko Master in English, is, as you might expect, a rhythm action game in the vein of Guitar Hero or Rock Band. Hit the drums in time, win the game. The clip is quite amazing. The guy is blindfolded, is not even looking in the direction of the Taiko drums for most of the performance, and as Kotaku pointed out, this guy's not just playing, he's performing.
True story.
Like an artist.
It's a work of art, this. I mean, the confidence of the man. Blindfold, looking away from it, and he's playing it like this, and he's just bossing it. Like, you can see in the background, he's hitting every single note. It's wow. God. So there you go, quite an interesting Sunday news roundup for you this week. What was your favourite story? Let us know down below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, and please do subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every single day. There's the other video right there, which you can check right now if you want, and a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.